Right, 6 October 2024, and today I'm going to be giving you an update on quite a number of stories. And I want to start with where I ended yesterday. Yesterday we spoke about the elections in Binga, or the by-elections in Binga and uMzingwane. So now I have the results, and this is the worst results I've ever seen. It's clear that there was massive rigging during this election, and I'm now going to show you what has happened. So I've made a small graph for you here. And as you can see, ZANU-PF has numbers that you've never seen before. These numbers show clearly that there was rigging here. And if we look at the polling stations, there were 5 polling stations in uMzingwane, and at all polling stations, ZANU-PF almost got 100% of the votes. And I'm talking here of Red Rose, ZANU-PF at 210 votes, and the party which is in blue there, that is the party that represents Nelson Chamisa, got 38 votes. And you can see how it looks. It looks very bad. All these votes are very, very bad. And I've put it on Gambakwe for you to have a look. It's terrible. Matshetshe is the only place where the blue movement did well. All the other places, there were almost no votes for the blue movement, which is very strange because you know very well that there's massive support for the supporters of Nelson Chamisa over there. So this was surveillance over here in uMzingwane, Ward 15, and the rigging has continued. The reason why rigging took place is the handing out of food and also the presence of files at the gates or at the location where the elections were taking place. So this is terrible. This has happened. And then the questions arise to say, does it make sense to have these elections in Zimbabwe? What is the way forward in terms of Zimbabwe? We've got a serious problem here where elections are not making sense and there's continuous rigging. I'm currently awaiting the results from Binga. I've not been able to get hold of the guys in Binga overnight. As I explained to you, most of them were haunted out of Binga. They had to run from Binga the previous night because of threats that they were going to be arrested if they stayed in Binga. So this is terrible. This is what has happened within the by-elections. And ZANU-PF is once again taking control of these areas. It's very important for the opposition to take control, but it's not happening at the moment. What is happening is that ZANU-PF is continuing to use food, is continuing to use rigging, is continuing to use files in these efforts to keep all the votes within ZANU-PF. Then I want to quickly go through the news. I'm going to start with Harare. So in Harare, the city parking has issued a statement on Dexter Nduna. So city parking says Dexter Nduna has got no authority to collect parking. He is not a marshal. He does not have authority to collect any parking fees in Harare or in any other city. And this is because Dexter Nduna is currently recruiting youngsters and claiming that they're supposed to be collecting nationally, as his company has been given the authority or permission to collect throughout the country. So that is the statement by City Parking. I'm going to put by Harare City Council and City Parking. I'm going to put it for you sometime later on within a short space of time onto Gambakwe.com. And then Keno Minotabo Chiwenga has presided over a secretary's conference in Harare. So she spoke there. I'll try to get you the video when I get an opportunity to do so. And then in terms of James Manika, who is from Google, is going to be presenting, or is going to be a guest of honor at the Ideas Festival 2024 in Nyanga on the 29th of October. So I don't know whether this is a paid-for event, but it is hosted by Tshinga Dube and his newspapers, Ana Newsday and Zimbabwe Independent, The Standard, those kind of newspapers. They're going to be hosting the Ideas Festival, and the show is called In Conversation with Trevor. So you can go check out if there are tickets here, if you want to go, and also if it's going to be available virtually. And then in South Africa, there's been a massive development. Nota Baloyi, a popular producer, music producer, has been arrested, and he's being accused of rape. As I said last week, there is a young woman who is a former Rhythm City extress, Itumelang Okaba. She opened a rape case against Nota Baloyi last week, and he handed himself in yesterday. So he's going to be appearing in court on the 7th, and this is something to do with a relationship that went sour, I think, and Nota Baloyi currently in jail or in police cells. Then I think the other thing that is of interest is the armed robbery at Bulawayo Eco Bank. The security company in question has issued a statement, that is Safeguard Security Services. They've issued a statement to say they were not aware that there was $4 million that they were transporting, because this is above their limits. Otherwise, they would have put up more security. So they're surprised that they were made to carry this huge amount of money, which they did not know they were carrying. And this is crazy. It's a crazy situation, because what it means is that either the bank, Eco Bank, was trying to make them carry more money than they should, or the money is not actually 4 million. So those are the options. So what happened? Did the money actually get stolen? Was there 4 million in that trunk? How does do they count the money before they put it in? Those kind of questions are going to arise now regarding the money that was stolen, robbed in Bulawayo. Then civil servants in Zimbabwe are going to receive their bonuses in US dollars, according to July Moyo. And the money is said to be available because the ZIG has crashed. And also there's going to be an increase in the amount of money that someone gets in ZIG, which means that we've entered the vicious cycle. The ZIG is going to continue to crash. Next month, when the civil servants get paid, there's going to be a massive inflow of ZIG, and they're going to see another period of crash of the ZIG. So we're awaiting this. So civil servants want their bonuses to be paid in November and December in 2 batches, 50% in November, 50% in December. So that is the negotiation that is taking place right now. And the Zimbabwe government has already said they're going to pay this bonus in US dollars. This is the depth of the ZIG. You can bank on it. And then in South Africa, the railway is in a crisis because of security incidents and accidents. So in a recent report, it has been reported that 7,400 accidents took place in the South African rail sector, in which almost we can say 85 people died and over 100 injured. And there were security incidents in which 74 people died. So this is a massive number of people dying, either in incidents of accident or in terms of attacks or someone coming to rob you and stab you, those kind of things. And this is to do with Transnet and PRASA railway lines. So this is a massive problem, accidents because of the actual state of the railway, and also poor security around the railways, resulting in people getting killed or injured during robberies or thefts or such other incidents. So this is the report on South African railway sector. And this is Muso Selaledi, the acting CEO of the South Africa Rail Safety Regulator, who issued that statement. Then in Eswatini, His Majesty King Mswati III has conferred 1,250 University of Eswatini graduates with different degrees during the 42nd graduation ceremony held in KwaLuseni yesterday. So that was done yesterday. And this is, I don't know what Eswatini is like in terms of education, but this is my first time to see him presenting this or presenting these degrees in Eswatini. You saw that Mnangagwa did the same this week. So I think we've covered everything that I wanted to cover today. Massive problem there with the rigging. What are we going to do with the elections in Zimbabwe? How do we solve the problem of elections in Zimbabwe? Twitter saying Mnangagwa, Anetsa Murumewi. So he is a massive problem, Mnangagwa, with the rigging, and he even rigs cancel by-elections. This is shocking. I've never seen anything of this nature. The way someone rigs a cancel by-election. That's crazy stuff. So let's quickly look at the news in the newspaper. I want to show you what the newspapers are saying today quickly, and then I'll give you details. If there's something that I want to highlight, I'm going to give it to you later on today. So let's look at the highlights, just the highlights of the Sunday Mirror newspaper. And I'm going to take you through this newspaper together with, we'll do it together. So let's look at the Colonel Tshinga Dube's burial. Is going to be today. That is what the newspaper is saying here. And then they are saying, Oksina Mnangagwa interacts with Dominican Republic Minister of Tourism, Mr. David Colado. She's continuing with the gastronomy over there. I think you can easily see that most of the stuff that we're dealing with here is to do with the Mnangagwa family. There is nothing here of particular note that I can see here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you details. Mnangagwa is going to be presenting at the 13th Zimbabwe International Research Symposium by ZARA. Let's see what date this is going to be. This is 13 to 15 October. So I'll compile this news for you later on, and I'll give it to you in the evening if there's anything of interest. But there is a massive problem in terms of elections. We have seen massive rigging taking place through the provision of food just before the election, house to house. You know that there's a drought in the raw areas. These guys went house to house by giving mealie meal, cooking oil, rice, and telling people to vote for ZANU-PF. And then they also went and put a desk at each polling station to make sure that whatever they threaten, they enforce at the police station, at the polling station. And I'll give you more results from Binga. What I've given you right now is of uMzingwane, where there was almost 100% ZANU-PF, which is clear. It's clear rigging. There's no way that Mnangagwa can win elections under these conditions that we have in Zimbabwe. So this is what I had for today. I'm going to come back here later on in the evening, 10 minutes past 9, to give you another update. And there's always news updates on Gambakwe. So you're going to see any news update. If there's anything important, we're going to share it on Gambakwe. And I'm very unhappy with what's happening with the elections. Clearly, this is one of the worst things ever to happen. We are slowly moving again towards the same problems in 2028 that we had in the last elections. How do we solve this? And this is a serious question. There is a need to change the strategy. We cannot continue the way that things are going right now. So thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you again later tonight.